My name is Elena Foster. I am 22 years old. 2 weeks ago, my father stood before 50 people, relatives, family friends, colleagues from his law firm, at my graduation party. He raised his champagne glass. But he was not looking at me. He was looking at my younger sister. And then he said the words that still echo in my head. "I wish it was you holding that diploma tonight, Chloe. You are the only child who has ever truly made me proud." My mother nodded in agreement. No one objected. No one even glanced my way. I left quietly. Not a single person noticed. But what happened after that? They are still reeling from it. Before we begin, if you genuinely enjoy this story, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Where are you watching from and what time is it there? Drop a comment and let me know. Now, let me tell you how it all started. Let me introduce you to the Foster family. My father, Gregory Foster, is a successful attorney, a senior partner at one of the most respected law firms in the city. My mother, Patricia, comes from 3 generations of lawyers. And my little sister, Chloe, she is 19, just finished her first year of pre-law, and she is the sun around which my parents orbit. Then there is me, the black sheep, the one who chose nursing. I still remember the day I told them, for years ago. I was 18, trembling with excitement about my acceptance into the nursing program. My father looked at me like I had just told a joke that was not funny. "Nursing?" He set down his whiskey. "You want to be a servant to doctors for the rest of your life?" My mother sighed. "Our family has been in law for 3 generations. You are the first one to break tradition." I tried to explain. I wanted to help people, to be there in their most vulnerable moments, to actually make a difference. They did not hear a word. From that day forward, every phone call home revolved around Chloe. Chloe's grades. Chloe's internship applications. Chloe's bright, shining future. Meanwhile, I graduated top of my nursing class, worked double shifts to pay my own tuition, and received commendation after commendation from my professors. Not once did they ask how I was doing. Not once did they attend a single ceremony. But there was one person in my family who always kept track. Someone who called every Sunday without fail. Someone who remembered every exam, every clinical rotation, every small victory. Someone my father had never respected. And that person would change everything. 2 months before graduation, I received an email from my mother. No greeting. No, how are you? Just logistics. Your graduation party will be held at the Sterling. 7 in the evening, Saturday. Your father has finalized the guest list. You do not need to worry about anything. I read it 3 times. My graduation party, planned entirely without me. I pulled up the guest list attachment. My stomach dropped. 53 names. I recognized maybe 10 of them. Relatives I barely knew. The rest were my father's colleagues, business associates, partners from the firm. Even Chloe's sorority friends had made the cut. But my friends? My nursing professors? My colleagues from the hospital where I had done my clinicals? Not a single one. I called my mother immediately. "Mom, can I invite some of my own people?" Professor Martinez was my mentor for 2 years. And my friend Celia. Elena. My mother's voice was patient, like she was explaining something to a child. "This is an opportunity for our family to make an impression. Your friends, they would not fit in." I felt the words like a slap. Would not fit in. "You know what I mean," she continued. "The partners' wives will be there. We need the right atmosphere." I hung up without saying goodbye. That night, I looked at the invitation card my mother had sent for my records. My hands shook as I read it. "Celebrating the Foster family" was printed in elegant gold script. Not "Celebrating Elena Foster." Not Elena's graduation. Just the family. Like I was a footnote in my own story. I should have seen it coming. But I still was not prepared for what they had actually planned. That night, I could not sleep. I lay in my tiny apartment, staring at the ceiling, running through 4 years of memories. For years of swallowing my pride. For years of telling myself, just wait. When they see you succeed, they will come around. But the truth was becoming impossible to ignore. The more I stayed silent, the more invisible I became. If I let this party happen the way they planned, if I smiled and nodded while they paraded Chloe around like a trophy, I would officially become the failed daughter in everyone's eyes. Every late night studying, every patient I had comforted, every perfect score I had earned, all of it would be erased. I looked at my diploma frame on the wall. Summa cum laude, top of my class. A piece of paper that had cost me 4 years of no vacations, no social life, no rest. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I ignored it. Too tired for telemarketers. A voicemail notification popped up. I almost deleted it, but something made me listen. Hello, this is a message for Elena Foster. This is the office of Mercy General Hospital. We have some important news we would like to share with you in person. Please call us back at your earliest convenience. Mercy General, the most prestigious hospital in the state. The place where getting an interview was nearly impossible, let alone a job offer. I called back immediately. I am sorry, the receptionist said. The office is closed for the evening. Dr. Harrison will be available tomorrow morning. Dr. Harrison, the director of recruitment himself. What could be so important that he needed to tell me in person? I did not sleep at all that night. The next morning, I called the one person who had never let me down. Grandma. Elena, sweetheart. Eleanor Mitchell's voice was warm as sunshine. I was just thinking about you. How are the party preparations going? I told her everything. The guest list I had no say in. The invitation that erased my name. The feeling of being a stranger at my own celebration. Silence on the other end. A long one. Did your father invite me? She finally asked. I hesitated. I am not sure, Grandma. I see. Her tone shifted, hardened just slightly. Well, I will be there regardless. Invited or not. Grandma, I do not want to cause trouble. Trouble? She laughed softly. Sweetheart, I spent 40 years as a nurse. I faced down doctors who thought they were gods and administrators who thought they owned us. Your father's disapproval does not frighten me. I felt tears prick my eyes. At least someone was in my corner. Elena, she continued, your value does not depend on whether your parents can see it. I know what you have accomplished. And I am proud enough for all of them. Thank you, Grandma. Oh, by the way. Her voice turned lighter. I ran into Dr. Harrison last week. The recruitment director at Mercy General. Do you remember him? My heart skipped. You know Dr. Harrison? We served on the Community Health Foundation board together for 15 years. He mentioned your name. Said some very impressive things about you. What? What did he say? Call him back, sweetheart. I think you will want to hear it from him directly. She hung up before I could ask more. What exactly had my grandmother told him about me? 3 days before the party, I drove to my parents' house. I found my father in his study, reviewing case files. He did not look up when I entered. Dad, can we talk about the party? He kept reading. What about it? I would like to invite a few people. Professor Martinez. Some friends from the hospital. No, he turned a page. The list is finalized. Dad, this is my graduation party. He finally looked up. His eyes were cool. Assessing. This is a Foster family event. I just want my mentor there. She guided me for 2 years. A nursing professor? He actually laughed. What will my colleagues think? They will think I was well educated. They will think this family has one child who could not keep up. The words hit like a punch. I studied myself against the door frame. Dad, I graduated top of my class. In nursing, Elena. He said it like the word itself was beneath him. Your sister is going to Harvard Law. Do you understand what that means for this family? I thought this party was about my graduation. He finally set down his papers. Looked at me fully. And what I saw in his eyes was not anger. It was worse. It was complete indifference. I have already told everyone that we are announcing Chloe's Harvard acceptance. This party is the perfect opportunity. He picked up his pen again. You just need to show up, smile, and try not to draw too much attention to yourself. I stood there frozen. Try not to draw too much attention to myself. At my own graduation party. I understand, I said quietly. But I was lying. For the first time in my life, I was lying to my father. I found my mother in the kitchen, arranging flowers for the centerpieces. Mom, I need your help. She did not stop arranging. With what, dear? Talk to Dad about the party. About making it actually about my graduation. Elena. She sighed. I do not want to create conflict. You would be standing up for me. I would be disrupting the family harmony. By supporting your own daughter? She finally looked at me. Her expression was the same patient, slightly tired look she had worn my entire life. Sweetheart, you have always been so sensitive. Your father means well. He just expresses it differently. He is turning my graduation into Chloe's announcement party. He is celebrating both of you. He literally said he wished Chloe had my diploma. You must have misheard him. I was standing right there, Mom. She set down a rose. For a moment, just a moment, I thought I saw something flicker in her eyes. Guilt. Recognition. Then it was gone. Your father has worked very hard to build this family's reputation. The least we can do is support his vision. Even if his vision erases me? Silence. You are choosing a side, Mom. I am keeping the peace. By sacrificing me. She picked up another flower. Her hands were steady. Her voice was steadier. You have always been too dramatic, Elena. Just like your grandmother. I left without another word. That evening, an email arrived that changed everything. The subject line read, "Formal offer of employment, Mercy General Hospital." I opened it with trembling fingers. And suddenly, I had a choice to make. I read the email 3 times to make sure I was not hallucinating. Mercy General Hospital was offering me a position in their emergency department. Not just any position, the most competitive nursing role in the entire hospital. Hundreds of graduates applied every year. Most did not even get interviews. And they wanted me. The salary made my jaw drop. $78,000 starting. I had done my research. First-year associates at my father's law firm started at $65,000. But the next paragraph was what truly caught my attention. We would like to present this offer formally at a significant event in your life to honor your exceptional achievements. Please let us know if you have any upcoming occasions where this would be appropriate. They wanted to make it public. A ceremony. A moment. I looked at the invitation card on my desk. Celebrating the Foster family. A thought formed. Dangerous. Audacious. What if I gave them exactly what they wanted? I scrolled to the bottom of the email. There was a postscript that made my breath catch. P.S. Mrs. Eleanor Mitchell recommended you to our attention. She described you as the most exceptional nursing student she has witnessed in her 40 years in the profession. We are honored to have you join our family. Grandma. She had not just mentioned my name to Dr. Harrison. She had actively advocated for me, used her decades of connections and credibility to open a door. And she had never said a word. I did not reply to the email that night. I needed to think. My family wanted to use my party to celebrate Chloe, to minimize me, to make me invisible. Maybe it was time to let them see exactly who they had been ignoring. I drove to Grandma Eleanor's house the next morning. She was waiting on the porch with tea already poured, like she knew I was coming. She probably did. Grandma always seemed to know. You got the email, she said. Not a question. Why did not you tell me? She smiled, stirring her tea. Because it was not my achievement to announce. I simply told Dr. Harrison the truth. Everything else you earned yourself. I sat beside her. Grandma, tell me about Dad. About why he is like this. Her smile faded. Your father came from nothing, Elena. Worked his way through law school on scholarships and spite. When he married your mother, he married into 3 generations of legal prestige. She paused. The first time he met me, he looked at my nurse's uniform and said, I hope your daughter will have a better life than you. He said that to my face. At their engagement dinner. What? She shrugged. I have never been someone worth impressing in his eyes. Just the mother-in-law who serves doctors. But you have done so much. The foundation, the scholarships, the community health programs, none of which involve a law degree. She reached over and squeezed my hand. Your father measures worth by titles and prestige. People like us? We measure it by lives touched. She stood up and walked inside. When she returned, she was holding an envelope. This came for you last month. I have been waiting for the right moment. I opened it. A letter from the Dean of the School of Nursing. A formal commendation for academic excellence. And a nomination for the Future Healthcare Leaders Program. Elena. Grandma's eyes were fierce. You do not need your parents' recognition, sweetheart. But if they insist on looking, let us give them something to see. That afternoon, I called Dr. Harrison. Elena. His voice was warm, professional. I am so glad you reached out. Did you receive our offer? I did. I am honored. Truly, the honor is ours. Your clinical evaluations were exceptional. Your professors could not say enough good things. I took a deep breath. Dr. Harrison, about the formal presentation you mentioned. I have an event this Saturday. My graduation party. At the Sterling restaurant. That sounds perfect. A celebration of your achievement. I hesitated. It is complicated. My family does not exactly understand the value of nursing. A pause. I see. His tone shifted, became knowing. Mrs. Mitchell mentioned something similar. Your family has lawyers, I understand. 3 generations of them. Well, I could hear him smiling through the phone. I suppose we will have to show them what a real achievement looks like. I will bring the formal offer letter and a small surprise. What kind of surprise? You will see. Trust me, Elena. Saturday evening will be memorable. After I hung up, I sat in silence for a long time. I had not told Grandma about my plan. I had not told anyone. This was my choice. My moment. My whole life, I had tried to earn my family's respect by staying small. By being quiet. By hoping they would eventually turn around and see me. They never did. Maybe it was time to stop waiting. I looked at my reflection in the window. 22 years old. Top of my class. A job offer that would make lawyers jealous. And a family who thought I was nothing. One of those things was about to change. I did not know exactly what Saturday would bring. But I knew one thing. It would not go the way my parents expected. Okay, before we get to the graduation party, the part 1 promise you will not be able to look away from, I want to ask you something. Have you ever been looked down on because of your career choice? Ever felt invisible in your own family? Drop a comment below and tell me your story. If this is hitting close to home, give me a like so I know I am not alone in this. Now, back to Saturday night. The Sterling was even more impressive than I remembered. Crystal chandeliers cast golden light across white linen tablecloths. Fresh roses adorned every surface. Waitstaff in black uniforms moved silently between tables, filling champagne glasses and adjusting silverware. 50 guests minimum. I scanned the room and recognized maybe a dozen faces. Distant aunts. Cousins I saw once every few years. The rest were strangers in expensive suits. My father's colleagues. His partners. Their wives. I arrived at exactly 7 in the evening. My father was standing at the entrance, shaking hands with a silver-haired man I did not recognize. Gregory, congratulations, the man was saying. Big occasion for your family. Thank you, Charles. Big things ahead. Dad noticed me approaching. A brief nod. Nothing more. Then he turned back to Charles as if I were just another passing server. I moved further into the room. My mother was near the head table, fussing over Chloe's dress. A gorgeous emerald gown that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Meanwhile, I was wearing the navy blue cocktail dress I had bought with 3 weeks of overtime pay. Elena, there you are. Mom barely glanced at me. You are at table 6. Near the back. Near the back. The front tables are for your father's partners. She smoothed Chloe's collar. You understand? I understood perfectly. I walked to table 6, found my name card, and looked up at the banner stretching across the main wall. Celebrating the Foster family. In elegant gold script. No mention of graduation. No mention of me. I was a guest at my own party. A backdrop for someone else's announcement. But they did not know I had brought guests of my own. At 7:15, the restaurant doors opened. Grandma Eleanor walked in like she owned the place. She was wearing a navy blue suit that probably cost more than my father's. Her silver hair was perfectly styled. Her posture was ramrod straight. At 78, she still commanded attention without saying a word. My father's face went pale. Eleanor. He stepped forward, blocking her path. I do not recall sending you an invitation. Grandma smiled. It was not a warm smile. I am here for my granddaughter's graduation party. I do not need your invitation, Gregory. This is a private event. For family. Yes. She stepped around him effortlessly. I am family. Whether you like it or not. My mother rushed over, her heels clicking urgently on the marble floor. "Mother, please. Let us not make a scene." "I am not making a scene, Patricia. I am simply attending." Grandma's eyes swept the room. "Where is Elena seated?" "Oh, table 6. In the back." How appropriate. Several guests had stopped their conversations, watching the exchange. My father laughed, a forced, too loud sound. My mother-in-law, everyone. Always a bit dramatic. Grandma did not acknowledge him. She walked straight to me, her arms open. "There is my girl." I hugged her tight, fighting back tears. "I have a surprise, Grandma," I whispered. She pulled back, eyes twinkling. "I know, sweetheart. I have one too." Before I could ask what she meant, a server announced that dinner would begin shortly. My father was already moving through the crowd, doing damage control, charming his partners with that practiced smile. He had no idea what was coming. Neither did I entirely. But I was about to find out. After dinner, my father stood up and tapped his champagne glass. The room fell silent. "Thank you all for being here tonight." His voice carried easily, practiced from years of courtroom performances. "We're gathered to celebrate our family." A small pause. I noticed he did not say my name. As many of you know, the Foster family has a proud tradition in law. 3 generations of attorneys. And soon to be 4. He turned toward Chloe, who was beaming at the head table. "I want to raise a glass to the future. To my youngest daughter, Chloe, who has just been accepted to Harvard Law." Applause rippled through the room. I saw my mother nodding proudly. My father continued, his eyes still on Chloe. "I wish," he paused for effect. "I truly wish that Chloe was the one holding a diploma tonight. She is the only child who has ever truly made me proud." More applause. But quieter now. I noticed several guests exchanging uncomfortable glances. My mother nodded along, smiling. No one looked at me. I sat frozen at table 6, feeling every eye that deliberately avoided mine. The pitying glances from the few relatives who bothered. The indifference from the rest. Chloe was still smiling, but something flickered across her face. A moment of discomfort. Maybe even guilt. Then it was gone. My father raised his glass higher. "To the Foster family. To our brightest star. Chloe." Everyone drank. I did not touch my glass. My grandmother stood up. The room went silent again. And I realized this was the moment everything would change. "Gregory." Grandma's voice cut through the silence like a scalpel. "I believe you forgot something important." My father's smile tightened. "Eleanor, this really is not the time." "This is exactly the time." She stepped away from table 6, moving toward the center of the room. "You just gave a toast at your daughter's graduation party. You did not mention her once." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. "I mentioned the family. You wished a different child was holding the diploma." Grandma's voice was calm but razor-sharp. "At the party for the child who actually earned it." "Eleanor, you are embarrassing yourself." "No, Gregory. You have been doing that for years." Gasps from several tables. I saw my father's colleagues leaning in, suddenly very interested. "This is a family matter," my mother interjected, standing up. "We should not air private issues in public." "Private?" Grandma laughed softly. "You planned a public party to announce Chloe's college acceptance at Elena's graduation celebration. You put her at the back table. You did not even put her name on the banner." She gestured at the gold lettering. "There is nothing private about this humiliation." My father's face was turning red. "I have had enough of this. Eleanor, sit down or leave." "I will do neither." The room was utterly still. 50 people watching, waiting. Then the restaurant doors opened. A man walked in. Mid-40s. Distinguished gray at his temples. Expensive suit. He was carrying a large envelope. He walked directly toward me. "My apologies for the late arrival," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "I have urgent business with Miss Elena Foster." My father frowned. "Who the hell are you?" The man smiled. "I am Dr. Samuel Harrison, Director of Recruitment at Mercy General Hospital." The room went completely silent. Dr. Harrison walked past my father without acknowledging him, stopping directly in front of my table. "Miss Foster." He extended his hand. "It is an honor to meet you in person." I stood, shaking his hand. My legs felt unsteady. Dr. Harrison, I did not expect. I wanted to deliver this personally. He held up the envelope. May I? I nodded. He opened it, pulling out an official document with the hospital's letterhead. Then he turned to address the room. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for interrupting your evening, but I have an announcement that could not wait. My father stepped forward. Now, wait just a minute. Elena Foster, Dr. Harrison continued, ignoring him completely. Graduated summa cum laude from the School of Nursing. Top of her class. Her clinical evaluations were the highest we have seen in 15 years. He held up the letter. Mercy General Hospital is honored to offer her a position in our emergency department. Effective immediately. Starting salary, $78,000 per year. Audible gasps from multiple tables. I heard someone whisper, $78,000 for a nurse? Dr. Harrison smiled. For an exceptional nurse. He looked directly at my father. To put that in perspective, most first-year attorneys at top firms start at $65,000. If anyone wants to compare. The silence was deafening. My father's face had gone from red to white. My mother's hand was pressed against her mouth. At the head table, Chloe was staring at me with wide eyes. Not jealousy. Something else. Surprise. Real surprise. Dr. Harrison handed me the letter. Congratulations, Elena. You have earned this. Thank you, I managed. But he was not finished. There is one more thing, Dr. Harrison said. The small surprise I mentioned. He reached into his jacket and pulled out another envelope. This is a letter from Dean Marshall of the School of Nursing. It was addressed directly to Elena. But given the occasion, I thought I would share a portion of it. He unfolded the paper and began to read. Elena Foster is the most exceptional nursing student we have trained in the past 15 years. She achieved not only perfect academic marks, but demonstrated compassion and professionalism that exceeded every expectation during her clinical rotations. We are proud to nominate her for the Future Healthcare Leaders Program, reserved for the top 1% of healthcare graduates nationwide. He looked up. The top 1% nationwide. Applause erupted. Not polite applause. Genuine, enthusiastic applause. I saw my father's colleagues nodding approvingly, turning to look at me with new respect. My God, I heard someone say, Gregory, you never told us she was this accomplished. My father opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Dr. Harrison folded the letter and handed it to me. Your grandmother was right about you, Elena. Every word. Grandma stepped forward, her chin held high. For those who are wondering, she announced, her voice carrying across the room, I was the one who introduced Elena to Mercy General. I spent 40 years as a nurse, building relationships that Gregory here has never respected. She smiled. Turns out being a servant to doctors has its advantages. My father looked like he had been slapped. My mother sank into her chair. And Chloe was staring at me with an expression I had never seen before. Not pity. Not jealousy. Something like respect. The room was still buzzing when I stood up. 50 pairs of eyes turned to me waiting. I had spent my whole life avoiding this moment. Staying quiet. Staying small. Hoping that if I just worked hard enough, they would eventually see me. They never did. So I stopped waiting. Thank you, Dr. Harrison. My voice was steadier than I expected. Thank you, Grandma. I turned to face the room. To face my parents. I spent 4 years trying to prove I was worthy of this family. I worked double shifts. I never asked for help. I graduated at the top of my class. I paused. Tonight, I realized something. I do not need to prove anything to anyone. My father started to speak. Elena, you misunderstand. I understand perfectly, Dad. I did not raise my voice. I did not need to. You wanted to use my graduation party to announce Chloe's acceptance. You wished she had my diploma. You sat me at the back table. I gestured at the banner. You did not even put my name up there. The silence was absolute. I am not angry. I meant it. The anger had burned away, leaving something cleaner behind. I am just done. Done waiting. Done hoping. Done pretending you will change. I picked up Dr. Harrison's letter. From today, I am setting a new boundary. I will not beg to be loved anymore. I will invest my energy in people who actually value me. I looked at Grandma. Her eyes were glistening. Then I looked back at my parents. I am not asking for an apology. I am just letting you know that things will be different now. My father finally found his voice. Elena, let us discuss this privately. No, I smiled. I think we are done discussing. My father's face cycled through several emotions. Shock, anger, and finally, something that looked almost like panic. Elena, you are being dramatic. He forced a laugh, glancing at his colleagues. You know how it is. Family misunderstandings. This was not a misunderstanding, Dad. I kept my voice calm. You literally wished my sister had my diploma. In front of 50 people. You were making a toast to someone else at my party. A man stood up from one of the front tables. I recognized him from my father's office. Mr. Harris, a senior partner. Gregory. His voice was quiet but firm. I think your daughter deserves an apology. Several heads nodded around the room. My father's laugh died in his throat. Charles, this is a family matter. You made it public when you gave that toast. Mr. Harris looked at me with something like respect. Young lady, congratulations on your achievements. That is genuinely impressive. Thank you, sir. My father was losing control of the room. I could see it in his eyes. The realization that his carefully planned event had completely derailed. Everyone, please. My mother stood up, her voice strained. This is between our family. Patricia. Grandma's voice cut through. For once in your life, be quiet. You have stayed silent in the wrong moments for far too long. My mother's mouth fell open. The room was utterly still. My father looked around at his colleagues, his partners, the people whose opinions he had spent decades cultivating. All of them were watching him with new eyes. He swallowed hard. I do not know what to say. For the first time in my life, Gregory Foster was speechless. And I realized this was enough. Wow, are you feeling this as much as I am right now? Comment and let me know. If you were me, would you stay or walk out after that moment? Here is the thing. The story is not over. What happened next actually changed my whole perspective. Hit that like button if you want to hear how it all ends. Now, let me tell you about the aftermath. The party dissolved quickly after that. Guests made polite excuses and headed for the exits. I stood near the door, accepting congratulations from people who had ignored me an hour earlier. But I also caught fragments of conversation. Two of my father's colleagues were lingering near the coat check. I had no idea Gregory was like that with his daughter. $78,000 for a new nurse. My son graduated law school last year. He is making $62,000. Did you see his face when the hospital director walked in? Priceless. Makes you wonder what else we do not know about him. I watched my father standing alone in the corner of the emptying room. No one approached him. The partners who usually orbited around him kept their distance. My mother was frantically gathering her things, avoiding eye contact with everyone. Mr. Harris stopped beside me on his way out. Miss Foster. He pulled a business card from his wallet. If you ever need anything, a recommendation, a reference, advice, do not hesitate to call. Thank you, Mr. Harris. Your father is a skilled attorney. He paused. But tonight, I learned something about his character I wish I had not. Good luck to you. He shook my hand and left. I looked across the room. Chloe was still at the head table alone. Now she was watching me. Not with anger. Not with jealousy. With something that looked almost like confusion. Like she was seeing me for the first time. Our eyes met for a long moment. Then she stood up and started walking toward me. I braced myself for whatever was coming next. Chloe stopped in front of me. Her emerald gown suddenly looked too bright under the dimming lights. Elena. Her voice was hesitant. Are you okay? I almost laughed. Are you seriously asking me that? She bit her lip. I did not know it was this bad. How could you not know? She looked down. I guess I thought this was just how our family worked. Dad talks about me. Mom focuses on me. And you, she trailed off. I stay invisible. I never thought of it like that. She looked up, and I was surprised to see her eyes glistening. I just thought you were quiet. That you did not want the attention. I wanted it, Chloe. I just learned I would never get it. We stood in silence. Around us, the restaurant staff had begun clearing tables. I am sorry. Her voice cracked. I know that does not fix anything, but I am. You do not need to apologize for Mom and Dad. I am apologizing for me, for never asking, for never noticing. She wiped her eyes, for just accepting how things were. I felt something shift in my chest. Not forgiveness, not yet, but something softer than the wall I had built. You were 19, Chloe. You are still 19. You did not create this dynamic, but I benefited from it. Yes. I nodded slowly. You did. What happens now? With us? I considered the question carefully. You are my sister. That does not change. But our relationship needs to be rebuilt. On respect. Not on whatever this has been. I want that. Her voice was small but sincere. I want to actually know you. Then start by seeing me. Not as a comparison. Just as me. She nodded again. It was a beginning. 2 weeks after the party, Grandma called with news. Your father is having a difficult time at the firm. I was in my new apartment unpacking boxes. What do you mean? Mr. Harris told some of the other partners about that night. The story spread. She paused. Apparently, several clients have requested to work with different attorneys. They are leaving your father. Not entirely. But they've made it clear they prefer colleagues with better character, as one of them put it. I sat down on an unopened box. I was not sure how to feel about this. He is not getting fired or anything, Grandma continued. But his reputation took a hit. The golden boy image has some tarnish now. I did not want that. You did not cause it, sweetheart. He did. You just stopped covering for him. That afternoon, my mother called for the first time since the party. Elena. Her voice was tight. We need to talk about your father's colleagues. They keep asking about you, bringing up the party. It is affecting his work. That is not my fault, Mom. You could talk to Mr. Harris. Explain that your father did not mean. Did not mean what? To humiliate me? To wish Chloe had my accomplishments? To seat me at the back of my own party? Silence. I cannot control what people think about Dad, I said quietly. Those are the consequences of his actions. Not mine. Elena. I am not going to clean up his mess, Mom. Not anymore. I hung up. For years, I had protected my family's image by staying quiet, by accepting less, by making myself small. Those days were over. The consequences of their choices were theirs to carry now. My first day at Mercy General, I stood outside the emergency department doors for a full minute. Just breathing. Just taking it in. The badge clipped to my scrub said Elena Foster, RN. My name, my title, my achievement. Ready for your first shift? Dr. Harrison appeared beside me, smiling. More than ready. Good. Because the ER waits for no one. Inside was controlled chaos. Exactly what I had trained for. Monitors beeping. Nurses calling out vitals. Doctors moving with purpose. I was assigned to a veteran nurse named Gloria for my first week. She showed me the systems, the shortcuts, the unwritten rules that kept the department running. You're good, she told me after my first patient intake. Really good. Whoever trained you knew what they were doing. I had an excellent professor, and my grandmother was a nurse for 40 years. Eleanor Mitchell? I blinked. You know her? Gloria laughed. Honey, everyone in this hospital knows Eleanor. She helped train half the senior staff. That woman is a legend. I felt a warm glow spread through my chest. A bouquet of sunflowers was waiting in the break room from Grandma, with a note, to my granddaughter on her first day. I have always been proud of you. Always. My first real patient was an elderly woman, 72, with chest pains. She was alone, scared, gripping the bed rails with white knuckles. I took her hand. I am Elena. I am going to be with you through this. You are not alone. Her grip relaxed. Her breathing steadied. This was why I chose nursing. Not for the money or the prestige. For moments like this. For being there when someone needed me most. I was exactly where I belonged. 3 months later, my life looked completely different. I had a job I loved. Colleagues who respected me. An apartment that was finally starting to feel like home. And Grandma Eleanor, who visited every Sunday for tea and stories. As for my family, my father still had not called. Not once. I was not surprised. Gregory Foster did not apologize. He simply waited for problems to disappear. I was not going to disappear anymore. My mother texted occasionally. Short messages. How are you? Or thinking of you. Never an acknowledgement of what happened. Never an apology. I responded politely, briefly. Nothing more. But Chloe surprised me. She called every Sunday right before Grandma's visits. We would talk for 20 minutes, sometimes more. She told me about law school applications. She was reconsidering Harvard, looking at schools closer to home. She asked about my patients, my shifts, my life. She never mentioned our parents. I want to understand you, she said one Sunday. Not the version of you I thought I knew. The real you. It was not perfect. We had years of distance to bridge. But she was trying. That meant something. The Foster family was not healed. Maybe it never would be. But I had stopped waiting for that healing to come from anyone but myself. I set new rules. I would answer if they reached out, but I would not chase their approval anymore. I would attend family events if invited, but I would not tolerate disrespect. I would love them from a distance if that was what it took to protect my peace. Boundaries were not punishment. They were self-preservation. And for the first time in my life, I was putting myself first. Sometimes, on quiet evenings, I sit on my apartment balcony and watch the city lights come on. I think about the journey that brought me here. For years of working myself to exhaustion, trying to earn love I should have had freely. One night of public humiliation that could have broken me. And one decision that changed everything. I stopped pretending to be invisible. Here is what I learned. Your worth does not depend on whether anyone else sees it. The people who should love you unconditionally sometimes cannot. And that is not your failure. It is theirs. Boundaries are not revenge. They are not punishment or cruelty. They are the line you draw between what you will accept and what you will not. Between who you are and who others want you to be. Not everyone who calls themselves family deserves the title. Real family, the people who show up, who see you, who celebrate your victories and hold your hand through failures, sometimes share your blood. Sometimes they do not. I did not beat my parents that night at the Sterling. I just stopped losing myself to them. My phone buzzes. A text from Chloe. Sunday call still on? Another from Grandma. Made your favorite cookies. Bringing them tomorrow. A third from Gloria at work. Patient from last week asked about you. Said you were an angel. Thought you should know. I smile. A real smile. The kind I could not remember having before all this. My father wanted me to be invisible. My mother wanted me to stay quiet. But I refused. And that made all the difference. I did not win against them. I just stopped losing myself. That is the only victory I needed. That is my story. Thank you for staying with me until the end. If you have ever felt overlooked, compared, or invisible in your own family, I want you to know you deserve better. Your worth is not determined by anyone else's inability to see it. If you want more stories like this, check out the video linked in the description. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you in the next one.